Guys, welcome to the Lyron Connection. I am Alexander John Tulloch, so you can use my first name. How you guys doing tonight? See who's on here. VJ, hey everyone. I'm going to be honest. It's been a rough 48 to 72 hours, to say the least. I've had contact for now almost 8 years, and it hasn't been as hairy as it has been for the last 72 hours. So a lot has happened in a short time. Welcome to episode 7 of the Lyron Connection. Guys, I got a microphone now, so hopefully you guys can hear me. So check, sound check. Anyways, we're here. It won't be a really big episode. I wasn't even expecting to do an episode tonight, but what happened was when we went into episode 6, I was letting you know about how the 3 light ships that were around the home, they went off to intercept a fleet that was coming in. Saturn Moon pinged off that this fleet was incoming. Soltraxi and the fleet were back at the mainland, so I only had 3 ships guarding me. They took off. They went to intercept them. They were disabled. This Ningizida fleet was coming towards Earth. They disabled my 3 ships. And at the last moment, what we ended on with the Lyron Connection from episode 6, the Ningizida fleet disabled those 3 light ships, and the fleet dispatched the Soltraxi, which is the flagship for Lyra. Their sister, the Soltraxi Soarer, the sister flagship, was dispatched at the last moment. We know it takes about 27 hours because they use the FTLP, the faster than light particle accelerator. That's their technology to intercept these things that were coming. And I shared images with you. I didn't hear any word, and I was getting a little nervous last night. Excuse me, and I'm still nervous. But a lot has happened, and I'm going to share it with you. I posted on the page, actually, hey Doug, Julia, VJ. I posted on the page some images from the Soltraxi, the moon base that we have off of on our moon. There are many different bases up on our moon, just to let you know. I posted when they went back to the mainland, that shot, what they sent me. And they told me they were going to be back in 2 months. So I thought the good guys usually work out and save the day. So I really, and when I had those 3 ships a few nights ago that we were noticing, and I have video and pictures, when I knew it was the Lyrons, and I saw them that low above the tree line, I knew that something was close to us that was a threat. I've never had ships that low. I've had ships where they fly over where I'm like, I can identify them. But when you guys take a camera, especially a phone, and you hold it up, you could actually see, and that's so annoying, even with today's technology. I need to get myself a good camera. When you hold up and you actually see a ship, you can like identify that is not, it could be Secret Space Force and, all these black Cladstein, but when you know that's a ship, and when you hold it up, it kind of makes it far away. It's not the same eye. So like when I take video, and I mean it's low. I mean 3 tall tree lengths up. That's low for ships, because a lot of times you'll see they look like stars, like satellites, and they'll move or they'll speed up or slow down, and then they'll curve. This is so low that I'm like, okay, I'm thinking. So that's what happened last night. Where we left off on episode 6, when that fleet disabled those 3 ships, this is what they said. When those, yeah, you're talking about, I'm like sitting here pins and needles because I don't know what's happening. And I'm that nervous. I am really scared. I'm not terrified. I should be terrified. I really should be terrified. I wrote that to someone. I should be terrified. But when Contact first started about 8 years ago, I was very fearful. I was very fearful. I was very scared a lot. I didn't know what this is going on. I've had many experiences, but I've never... So I get nervous, but when you see... So this is what happened. All the lines of communication, all my old encrypted lines, Ningizida, they over... So I said, oh, great. So my guys did not stop them. So they were disabled, and the sister Soltraxi has not come and stopped this. So these guys have taken over all the lines, right? So that's where we left off, and you can actually see Ningizida. The original reptilian, and I was told by the Lyrans that this guy to not worry about this guy anymore, or whatever it is, and have no fear. They did warn me though over a couple weeks ago about dreams, and dreams have been brought up a couple of times in the past years by many, like, different races. But I have actually a book, a ledger. Of course, you guys know, if you've been watching the episodes, I get Contact, I date it, I timestamp it, I decode it, if it's code, if it's binary code, if it's Latin, I translate it, I write it into the journal. If it's an image, I have it sent off, I have the image sent, and then I have it put on because eventually, I'm just to be honest, I don't know who's watching. This is history. This is all these journals, whatever happens to me in the future, this is history. This isn't just one race or 2 races. This is 30 races confirmed. David, let's see. Hey, Alex, you are on the AA group live. I have to leave this chat, but I'll check in later. All right, thanks, David. I really appreciate it. So, these are up to 30 races, good and bad, and I have them all in chrono. So you guys may find in the future, whatever happens to me, say like within 10 years when I do go back to Lyra, or maybe the timelines have changed and I'm killed, or whatever happens, or the government, a helicopter comes down, they force me and they take me away. Whatever happens, everything, I have backup plans. I mean, I have stuff in safes, I have stuff, I got everything backed up. Because that's all I have. That's all I have to show. I mean, I have backups, I have everything. There's nothing going to stop this, because this is real. This isn't, well, I'm not saying anyone else who doesn't get a transmission or has a download, or they do have there's all different styles. There's many contactees around the planet. I'm just letting you know, I have everything documented. I'm very thorough. And everything's the ledger. So I don't meet anyone else who has what I have. Does that make me better than anyone else? No. It's a unique experience. I am told I'm a prince from Lyra. I was created 1,000 years before my body, and I was brought here for the end of an age, before a new age, for the final battle of kings. That's all I know. And I kind of feel, and I should be very grateful, but I feel alone. I really do, in a sense, because I feel like I should, with the amount of supposedly who I am, I should have more things at my disposal, and I don't. This is so hard. And when I have threatening races that want to kill me because of who I am, and I get Okay, so you saw that reptilian, right? Let's just get back on track. I was going on a rant. I'm sorry. I was just getting emotional there, and I just wanted to express, because I have no one to vent to. I have my best friend who does get contact like I do, but he does not get what I get all the time. I get consistent contact. He gets it once in a blue moon, and he did have an experience today. I'm going to share that. What he told me today, which makes the gravity of everything that's happening. I didn't sleep much last night. I'm going to be honest with you. Especially when they talk about, and I brought up dreams, and I have a journal. So I have this journal that I haven't even talked about on any of the episodes. The journal is about, I call it my coincidence box. Something happens and it's coincidental, I put it in there. If it has to do with a dream, I put it in there. Because it's not hard contact. It's not, here's a message, here's an image, this is what is said. It's maybe not, maybe it's a coincidence. I had a dream, I saw, because a lot of times, not a lot of times, once a month, I have this thing where I see something before it happens. I can't tell you how it works. All I can tell you is that sometimes it takes 2 minutes, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it happens within a day. It's a weird gift that I have. My mom had it. I'll tell you a brief, real quick story. My mom, she's washing dishes. She saw a vision. My sister, broken glass, crying and blood. Happened, a quick mark down the street. My sister knocked over pickle jars, cut herself, was crying. My mom saw it when she dropped her dishes when she was washing. That's just a weird thing I remember from when I was a kid. My mom saying, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. That sounds crazy, but it did happen. I started getting these things, and they've increased since I've had contact. I'll tell you a funny one. I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys, and they had a friend over. In my mind, I saw a toilet bowl overflowing into a bathroom, and the water was rushing through the wall. In my mind, and 5 minutes later, a toilet overflowed and went through the wall. I mean, what can I do? So I put it in my journal. It's a coincidence box, right? I can't say it's direct contact, this is coming from wherever. I can only tell you that I saw it in my mind like a movie. I was like, that's weird. I'm sitting on a couch, and then 5 minutes later, my son runs in crying, Dad, there's a toilet bowl overflowing, there's water going through the wall into the movie room. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So all I can do is I can write that down, right? That's all I can do. And that's what that journal book is for. Some dreams, that's what I write it in. Because a dream, it means a lot of things to a lot of people. But for tonight, it's important. Yeah, clairvoyant, yes, exactly. For tonight, I'm going to bring up dreams, because I had 3 dreams last night, only because it's in contact, and I got it last night. But let's start what happened. So we know Ningizata's forces are coming in. I don't know what happened to my disabled fleet. The sister ship of the Soltraxi coming in from Lyra. This sounds like a movie. This sounds like so made up. But this is, I'm going to show you. So anyways, let's begin. Let me take a breath. All right. So on Saturday, after all the Ningizata lines, all Ningizata, after all this, all my secured lines are compromised. At 7:07 p.m., I said, status update, please. That's all I said. Excuse me. At 9:44, right before 9:44 p.m. last night, I saw 2 ships. The first ship I saw come over to the left side of the house in my backyard. So I'm facing west, and I see it come right over, slow, curve right over the house. No noise, solid white light. clear skies. I know I've been doing this for so long. I know that it's either the Lyran or somebody. It's somebody. It's definitely not a plane. It's not a helicopter. It's not a drone. It's not whatever. It's not a satellite. It is a ship, and it's only a few tree lengths up. I tried to take the best I could with pictures. That thing went slow, and then went off to the property line, and then went towards the east, towards the ocean. Okay, I sit down. My wife saw it. I said, okay, well, I should probably ask, something. Are you back or something? Before I could do that, another ship from the other side of the house, so the right side, came in even lower, maybe 2.5 tree length, and it went slow. And it took about 3 minutes to clear, 3 to 4 minutes to clear, to where I couldn't take video or pictures anymore, because it gets to a point where you just see a light. You can't see the ship, but you know it's a ship because you can see it closer than what your camera can do. So anyways, so at 9:44 p.m. I sent a message. I said, just saw 2 ships. Are you back? Because I'm thinking, oh, maybe the Lyrans, it's about that time. It's been about a day and a half. Maybe they took care of this threat just like they did the last time. So then I received exactly 1 minute later. You can't make this up. I posted it onto the actual site because I was so nerve-wracked at that point. The actual image of, and I'll show you, that. Now, the last one, you didn't see this. See this? That's a visor. That is definitely a tactical, maybe like a helmet they use for when they're flying. And this looks like, because the other image doesn't, the reptilian or whatever this is, this race with the Ningizida fleet, this is very fleshy. This isn't on the other one. If this thing just flew over and sent that, this looks like maybe a breathing apparatus, but it's organic and it's connected to the face, and that is definitely a visor, a helmet. So these things flew over. He sends me that image. And at that point, the pit of my stomach, it drops. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm at the point, land. If you're going to do something, just do it. Land. Because I don't have time for this game. You want to land, you want to be a tough guy. I mean, aliens, whoever. I don't care at this point. I've gone through so much, and I'm not going to have these guys. I'm friendly and cordial with every race. But if you're going to come over and threaten and be whatever, do it. Just do it. I'm tired of it. So at that point, I got a message. It's like some people I talked to real quick that I personally, like, Alex, what's going on? Because I'm not ready to do I'm not going to do a live show right then and there. I'm just because I'm going through it. And this is close and hairy and scary in a sense. Because, I mean, you get that. I don't know. I don't care who you are. No one gets that. You'd rather get some kind of threat from like the mafia. Hey, we're going to take care of you. No, it's a human. But this thing, I don't know who this is. And this thing wants to kill me. I know that. And they're flying over. Okay, great. Well, do it. Do what you got to do. So at this point, at 11:09, I lay down. I said, I got to calm down. I got to be positive. Let me relax. But the Lyrans did tell me about dreams. Do not, they gave me a warning. So then at 11:09, I got a contact, and they said, the deep sleep dream. And I'm like, oh no, there it is. So you're telling me, just like I feared, the Lyrans warned me over a week ago about dreams. And I was like, now I'm going to have to stay up all night. The deep sleep dream. So either A, they're going to make contact with me while I'm in my sleep, or B, I'm vulnerable because I'm sleeping and they're going to attack me then. So this is the only thing that's going on in my mind, because this thing is real. It just flew over. I've got witnesses. I've got a picture. And I've got a message, the deep sleep dream. So they're waiting for me to go to sleep. great. So I responded, am I going to be spoken to in a dream? What are you going to say? I'm not going to fight them verbally. I'm just going to say, you're going to speak to me? Like maybe they're not going to try to hurt me. You know what I mean? So at 11:56, I got a message, but here's where it gets crazy. I did fall asleep. I was laying in bed. We were watching, my wife, she likes to watch the Criminal Minds, and it's actually a good show. It's not bad. And, well, anyways, I'm watching, and I'm like, I gotta stay up. I'm watching, and then I don't remember falling asleep. So I fell asleep, and I woke up. I woke up actually at a little after midnight, and I saw I had a message, and I said, oh my gosh, I fell asleep. In my dream, I don't remember much. I'm going to be honest with you. There were I gave my best friend 3 bullet points of helping me remind me of what my dreams were, because I wanted to talk about it tonight. I do remember the other 2, but I don't remember the first one. But I do remember that it had nothing to do with contact. It had nothing to do where I was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't like alien or I was talking. It was just like normal dream stuff, right? My message at 11:56 p.m. was, light custody kinds of the ships were destroyed. So they said light custody kinds of the ships were destroyed. So they're confirming to me that those 3 ships that were disabled were destroyed. You have no defense. This is what they say. You have no defense. You see it. We see our image. So I'm like, I posted before last night that as soon as I got an image, I'm like, something's going to happen to me. I need to put it on the Lyran Connection. I immediately posted a little synopsis about what's going on because I was nervous and a little scared. I put the image that I got from them, that these guys just flew over. So they said, you see it, we see our image. We know that it is a state of consciousness and what it means to be Ningizida. Okay. So at that time at 1:33 a.m. I said, what do you mean we see our image? What it means to be Ningizida is a state of consciousness? Please explain in detail. And then, since I was up, I was like, I need to stay awake. I did talk to people who are close, people I can trust, advisors, almost like a minister to me, my best friend, people I can talk to that I'm just like, I gotta stay up, sucks, I don't want to fall asleep, because it has to do with dreams. Well, I did fall asleep a second time. And the second thing I saw, and it's weird, I'll just tell you briefly, because I don't go into dreams. I have a journal for that. Eventually I'll publish or whatever, you could read dreams, because I don't take that. It's not hardcore, it's not contact, it's not, here's an image, this is the message, this is the race that is sent. It's a dream. So it's like not a waste of time, but I need to document it, but it's irrelevant for what happened. So the second thing that I saw, I was in a tunnel. It seemed like it was like a manufactured tunnel, but there was soft ground and there were large ferns, and it was a tunnel, and I was walking down this tunnel, and I realized I was in a dream, and I immediately woke up and I said, oh, I'm in a dream. Can't be dreaming right now, can't be sleeping, because I could be under attack. So I woke up, talked some more with people trying to stay awake, and I fell asleep again. In the third dream I had, I was on some water place, a world where there's water and there's lots of riches and money, where there's like, say a picture like aristocrats or like tuxedo, but weird costumes, and there were ships that looked like pirate ships, but they weren't pirate ships. They were like made of metal, and literally they would come out of the water and look like they're sinking, but then come out of the water. And it was a real quick dream, and someone was in the ship in the water, like we fell into the water, and these ships transform as they come out of the water, and I was trying to help that person out where I saw like the things were transforming. Like I was on the deck of the ship where I'm half in the water, half out. And I was okay because I was dodging things, and then I was grabbing that person to get so they weren't crushed from these things that were transforming. And I got her just in time to save her. And then I was like, I'm dreaming, and I woke up and I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta stay up. And that's why I'm so tired tonight. I'm just like, it's stressful. Okay, so let's move on. Enough with the dreams, because I can't prove dreams. They're just dreams. Some things there that, whatever. Let's get back to contact, right? So, my best friend. Now, I told you that I'm supposed to meet up with 12 other people on the planet who get contact like me. My best friend I told you about, he lived down the block. Few blocks down, and he was sent here around the same time to support me in this time, but I didn't meet him until I was in my early teens. And there was something about us when we first met. We're like, oh my gosh, it's like I know you. Like, what are you? Who are, like, we knew each other. Well, anyways, long story short, he gets contact too. He does not want to be disclosed at this time, and I respect that. But eventually, it's going to have to come out. So, but at this time, I'll respect that because of his position of his work and a lot of other stuff. He had an experience. He'll get messages, he'll get images like me, but they're once every few months. It's not like I get every other day, like some kind of boom, contact. He'll get it every few months. And he has experiences. He has these doorway experiences where he'll walk through, and we had it since we were kids. This is before contact. He would walk through a door, literally walk through any door. It could be random. It could be any time. He walks through a door, and all of a sudden, he looks like he's starting to... And this guy is a smart guy. He's a bodybuilder. He's no fool. He walks through a door, and he looks like he's not there. He's drooling. Excuse me. He goes through a door, and he's like, everything around him changes, where he sees like he's somewhere else. Sometimes it's in the past, sometimes it's in the future, sometimes it's totally somewhere else. It used to scare me because I thought he was a little mental at the time. Whenever I said, what's going on? And, well, that's just one. We have these weird things that happen. So when we started getting contact, he would get a lot of dark stuff. I would get a lot more light stuff. And I document all his things as well, which aren't much. It's here and there. But here's where it gets crazy. He said to me today at 1:07 p.m. it happened. He said, Alex, I went to the bank. I'm reading because I had to document this because it relates to what has been going on last night with the ships that flew over, with that race. He said, I went to the bank to shove money into the ATM, and then I went to a 7-Eleven. I got a cup of coffee, ran out from home. Came out of 7-Eleven, and I looked to my right. And he said, I saw the image sent to you. So the image that was sent to me, he saw that being. He said, I saw the entire being. It had black and green bumpy armor. Its flesh showed 4 feet, looked like a raptor or a T-Rex. I squinted this is happening very rapidly. He said, I squinted to see better and I got massively dizzy. Shook my head even to snap out of it. Nobody was around me. It was door height. And he said this thing looked giant and its head was very large and it was like a circumference of a tree. And he says in the center chest had a device in a box. It looked like a cube glowing blue. All that very quickly. So all that happened instantaneously. And then it fizzled out. He got dizzy. It fizzled out. And he's like I was nuts. And then I said, maybe I see them in the realm this is what he says to me personally. I said, I'll mention it on the show. Maybe I see them in the realm they're not supposed to be seen, like a breach. Because he has these doorways. So I said doorways, because he has these doorways where he sees things and then it goes away. And he gets like dizzy and sick feeling, and he feels drained, and he feels tired. And he gets a lot of this weird stuff. And then he said conduit. So we'll leave it at that. I didn't receive any other contact. So I had the ships fly over, I got the image, and then they talked about the dreams. The Lyran forces have not contacted me, and it disturbs me. It disturbs me to know that 3 forces that were protecting me have died protecting me. And it sounds crazy, and people could laugh and say whatever. It doesn't matter. This is very real. This is very happening. And if these things are on the ground, okay, if these things are actually on the ground, and it's almost like the Predator, like they can disappear, and we're under a really big threat right now. And I'm trying to get caught up with contact to where we get to a point where we can go into the older, I have 8 years of data. I've only done this show. This is the 7th episode. There's so much data. There's warnings. There's things in the past to say about an invasion. I'm not saying these things are invaded, but they're definitely here. And Lyran forces have died trying to protect me. And it's so frustrating that I'm in this position that I'm not told everything. Because when you come to the earth, like they say, I've been to Lyra many times. When you come to the earth, your memory is wiped. Okay? A lot of people have different experiences. There are so many races out there. There are so many. There are the Galactic Federation of Light. That's real. The Dark Fleet. That's real. The Independents, like the Insectoids. That's real. But I'm believing that this is a reptilian race. It looks like the reptilian race. Reptilians have been mentioned by Lyrans, but I can't confirm because they don't look like your typical slit-eyed reptilian Draco or anything